For hundreds of thousands of years, the world was trying to kill them. Predators in the dark, starvation, disease, extreme weather, venomous creatures, rival tribes. Every single day was a test. And yet, they survived. Not just survived, they thrived, multiplied, and eventually became us. Today, we're revealing the craziest survival methods ancient humans actually used. No 911, no hospitals, no rescue teams. Just raw intelligence, courage, and knowledge passed down through generations. Let's go back to a world where every sunset meant the real danger was just beginning. Trick number one, disappearing from smell. Before a hunt, ancient humans would rub mud and ash onto their skin. This masked their human scent, allowing them to get close to prey or avoid being detected by predators hunting them. A simple trick, completely effective. When a predator passed nearby, the rule was absolute. Don't move. Don't breathe. Freezing completely still, sometimes for several agonizing minutes. While a dangerous animal walked within feet of them, their heart pounding, their mind screaming to run. But stillness meant survival. Sometimes running wasn't enough. When a predator charged, climbing was the only option. Ancient humans could scale a tree in seconds, faster than most predators could follow. Safety just a few feet above the ground. When traveling as a group and a predator pack appeared, they formed what we'd now call a human shield. Spears pointed outward in every direction. Children and elders protected in the center. No gaps, no openings. United, they were nearly impossible to attack. And if a predator got too close, they fought dirty, throwing dust, dirt, and small rocks directly at the animal's face. A moment of blindness was all they needed to escape. But their greatest weapon wasn't a spear. It was fire. At night, they built rings of flame around their sleeping area. Almost no predator on Earth will cross an active fire. Inside that ring, for the first time in evolutionary history, humans could finally sleep without one person staying fully awake all night. Crossing rivers brought its own deadly risks. Using floating logs as makeshift rafts, they crossed waters that hid crocodiles and other predators just beneath the surface. One wrong move, one slip. That was all it took. Knowing which plants could kill you was a matter of life and death. Color, leaf shape, smell, every detail mattered. One wrong bite from a poisonous plant, and there was no emergency room to save you. When a snake bite happened, the response had to be immediate. Cutting near the wound, attempting to suck out venom, applying specific healing plants. Every second counted, and they knew exactly what to do. Surviving brutal heat meant covering the skin with light-colored clay to reflect sunlight, moving only during cooler hours, and resting completely still during the punishing midday sun. Surviving extreme cold meant building insulated shelters from snow, branches, and packed earth, then layering multiple animal furs and using body heat from the entire group pressed together. No heaters, no blankets from a store, just intelligence and teamwork. Finding water in a seemingly dry landscape required reading subtle signs most of us would never notice. Certain plants, insect behavior, animal tracks all converging toward one hidden spot. Then digging down to reach water flowing beneath the surface. A sudden flash flood could kill an entire group in seconds. Survival meant instantly recognizing the danger and climbing to higher ground. Fast, coordinated, no hesitation. Inside pitch-black caves, they used a form of echolocation, clapping or making sharp sounds and listening to how the sound bounced back, to navigate safely without falling into hidden pits. When wildfires raged, understanding wind direction and fire behavior meant the difference between life and death. Leading the group to rocky clearings with no fuel for flames to spread saved countless lives. Broken bones were set using straight branches as splints, tied firmly with vine rope. Crude by modern standards, but remarkably effective, and often the difference between recovery and death. When swarms of venomous insects attacked, the response was immediate, covering exposed skin with mud and retreating toward smoke, which naturally repels most insects. Camouflage was an art form, covering the body with leaves, mud, and plant matter to become nearly invisible. whether stalking prey or hiding from a predator that was stalking them. Territorial disputes between rival tribes were often resolved not through violence, but through intimidation. Loud vocalizations, aggressive displays, a united front, avoiding bloodshed whenever possible, because every member of the tribe was too valuable to lose. Sometimes the hunters became the hunted. When a predator targeted their group, they would split up, use the terrain, and create confusion to turn the tables, driving the predator away instead of becoming its meal. Food poisoning required immediate action. If they realized too late that something toxic had been eaten, specific plants were used to induce safe vomiting before the poison could spread further into the body. Falling into a ravine wasn't necessarily a death sentence. Using vines and exposed tree roots along rock faces, a skilled and determined survivor could climb back to safety. Slowly, carefully, one handhold at a time. When a sudden storm hit, an emergency shelter could be built in under 10 minutes. Branches and large leaves woven rapidly into a waterproof dome. Speed and skill, working together against time. A scorpion sting demanded immediate identification of the species, application of a known plant remedy, and most importantly, staying completely calm, since panic accelerated the spread of venom through the body. Cliffside accidents required immediate teamwork. Braided vine ropes, multiple strong hands, and absolute trust were used to pull a fallen tribe member back to safety. During extreme drought, the smartest strategy was simple. Follow the animals. They always knew where the last remaining water sources were hidden. Deep wounds were treated using natural antiseptic plants, spider silk to help close the wound, and ash to stop the bleeding. Surprisingly advanced techniques, refined over countless generations of trial and error. Sandstorms required covering the face with wet animal hide, crouching low, and simply waiting, sometimes for hours, until the storm finally passed. When lost far from camp, the night sky became their map. Specific stars and constellations guided them home through complete darkness. Facing a large, aggressive predator demanded counterintuitive courage. Standing tall, raising arms to appear larger, maintaining eye contact, slowly backing away, never running, because running often triggered a predator's chase instinct. Entire communities worked together to build palisade fences from sharpened logs. Humanity's very first home security system, protecting against nighttime predator attacks. Surviving days without water meant chewing specific water-storing plants and conserving every bit of energy, especially during the hottest hours of the day. Hypothermia was treated with urgent group action, building fire immediately, removing wet clothing, and pressing multiple bodies together to share warmth. A life-saving technique still used by survival experts today. Swamps hid deadly quicksand-like mud beneath seemingly solid ground. Reading subtle differences in texture and color was the only way to cross safely. A venomous spider bite required immediate wound suction, herbal treatment, and keeping the affected limb completely still and lowered to slow the venom's spread. When predator packs threatened to camp at night, fire and loud coordinated noise were used to drive them away. Fearless, unified defense. Crossing high mountains meant acclimatizing slowly and recognizing the earliest signs of altitude sickness. Knowing exactly when to turn back saved more lives than any amount of bravery ever could. During sudden flooding, emergency rafts were built from logs and vine rope within minutes. Children and elders always ferried to safety first. Parasitic infections were fought using specific bitter medicinal plants, recognized early through symptoms passed down as tribal knowledge for generations. Clever decoy strategies saved entire groups, creating noise and movement in one direction while the rest of the tribe quietly escaped in another. Cave collapses gave subtle warning signs, falling pebbles, strange sounds, and those who recognized them in time evacuated just moments before disaster struck. Long-term survival of an injured tribe member required weeks of continuous community care, food, medicine, warmth, and protection. The real secret to ancient survival was never the individual. It was always the group. Fire torches were used not just for light, but as a psychological weapon, creating walls of intimidating light and heat that drove away threats without a single confrontation. And perhaps the most important survival skill of all, teaching children. Through play, through stories, through hands-on practice, Critical knowledge was passed to the next generation, ensuring the survival of not just individuals, but the entire species. If you dropped a modern survivalist into that same world today, with all their expensive gear, GPS, and water filters, most would not last 5 days. Ancient humans did it for 300,000 years, with nothing but knowledge, courage, and each other. So here's my question for you. Out of everything you just saw, which survival method shocked you the most? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one.